Have your spidey senses ever tingled? Your gut feeling telling you that something is off? Or maybe you received information in your mind that you can't explain and it turned out to be correct. Pilots and passengers, I'm sensing today that we're going to be talking about ESP, also known as the sixth sense. ESP, or extrasensory perception, is the ability to pick up on information using only the mind or non-physical senses. These manifest in different ways, including clairvoyance, clairaudience, mediumship, and even telepathy. While some believe that anyone is capable of developing ESP abilities, others argue that there is no scientific evidence to prove that ESP even exists as a phenomenon. But before we get into that, please subscribe to Dare to Fly Today to become a pilot. Turn on notifications so you get notified every time I post a video, and share this video with others. Keep an eye out for the interesting facts at the end of this video. Now, let's fly into today's video. The concept of ESP has been a focus in society for many years, stirring wonder and amazement in those who study it and are said to have experienced it. The concept of ESP was first coined by British explorer Richard Burton in 1870 and was created to replace PSI, or psychic. Due to the wave of disbelief in psychics and mediums as a result of a lot of fraud, researchers and scientists use the term ESP, or extrasensory perception, to remain neutral. Following this, psychologist J.B. Rhine later adopted and developed this term to encompass and explain phenomena such as intuition, telepathy, clairvoyance, and many more other abilities. The concept of ESP falls under the bracket of parapsychology, which continues to be studied to this day. While some are firm believers in the sixth sense, others suggest that there is no evidence to support the idea that humans are able to receive information using non-physical senses. I've already mentioned that there are many ESP abilities, but did you know there are believed to be around 9 key ESP abilities? Clairaudience, or clairhearing, is the ability to hear using ESP. Whilst for some they may be able to hear voices or sounds that appear to have no source, others describe it as having an inner voice which communicates information to them. Clairvoyance stands for clear vision, and those with this ability say that they can see visual images and messages in their mind, or their third eye. Some clairvoyants say that they can see images and flashes of the past, present and future, which play in their mind a lot like movies. As mentioned, these images and messages are said to be received through their third eye, which is an opening to the soul and allows us to receive spiritual messages and contact those on the other side. Physically, the third eye is in the pineal gland in the brain, and this gland is involved in several functions, including secretion of the hormone melatonin and conversions of nervous system signals to endocrine signals, but is also believed to act as a gateway to higher consciousness and be the heart of spiritual work. Telepathy is the ability to send information and messages from one mind to another. This can involve words, emotions, and even images. For telepathy to be achieved, there must be a strong belief in the phenomenon. And of course, the understanding that practice and dedication will be needed to be able to achieve this ability. Of course, many dismiss the existence of telepathy as fiction and powers present in science fiction movies. Science suggests that whilst telepathy is real, it can be explained by biological mechanisms. For example, science suggests that one reason we can experience telepathy is because we have neurons in our brain that act as automatic mirrors, so we can pick up on others' intentions and emotions automatically. One study by psychology professor Gregor Domes found evidence that the human ability to interpret and recognise social cues can be enhanced by a hormone that increases trust and social approach behaviour, called oxytocin. One example of telepathy is dream telepathy. Frederick Myers, one of the key founders of the Society for Psychical Research, suggested that the workings of the subconscious or subliminal mind were primarily visible in phenomena such as dreams, trances, hypnosis, or creative states. Studies were carried out by researchers Dr. Montague Ullman and Dr. Stanley Krippner at the Maimonides Hospital in Brooklyn, New York. The study sought to investigate how one person could telepathically send messages and images to a second individual who was sleeping. Equipment which monitored brain waves and eye movements determined when an individual was entering a dream state, where they were then awoken and could repeat the contents of their dreams. Beforehand, in a separate room, a telepathic sender concentrated on target pictures and images, which were designed to create a particular impression. Independent judges compared the similarity between the sleep subject's dream contents and the target picture and found evidence for nocturnal, dream, telepathy, and precognition of the actual targets that were used. Precognition is the ability to receive information and knowledge about people, locations, events, and experiences before they occur. Essentially, it is the ability to see into the future and is suggested to take place in different situations, such as in dreams or in waking hours, when practicing mediumship or other ESP abilities. Whilst other forms of ESP are largely dismissed, studies of precognition have been highly successful and provided some of the best evidence for this umbrella of phenomena. In 1969, physicist Dr. Helmut Schmidt conducted a study on precognition, whereby subjects were asked to predict the lighting of one of 4 lamps, which was determined by theoretically unpredictable radioactive decay. The subjects must make their guess before the lamp apparatus makes its selection, in which the subjects were in fact able to accurately predict the randomly selected lamp on repeated occasions. In his paper, Schmidt stated that the highly significant results which were obtained indicate that the subjects in this experiment were able to predict randomly selected events to a degree far exceeding what would be expected by chance. Explanations of the high scores as the result of recording errors, chance, or non-randomness in the target sequence can be ruled out with reasonable confidence due to the precautions taken. However, whilst Schmidt's study is one example supporting the existence of ESP, critics suggest that these studies and experiments cannot prove the existence of the phenomenon because they are not accurate. In 1981, psychologist C.E.M. Hansel found that certain precautions were not taken during some of Schmidt's experiments to ensure that outside factors did not influence the studies, such as cheating or fraud conducted by Schmidt himself. One criticism includes that the randomization checks on the lamps and instruments used may have been conducted in a way that stimulated actual experimental conditions. However, there is no evidence to suggest this methodological weakness actually contributed to the results. Mediums are individuals who are believed to be able to communicate with the spirits of our loved ones who have passed over onto the other side. Each medium works in their own way and may utilise a variety of ESP abilities to communicate their messages and receive information. For example, some mediums may enter a trance state, host seances, or practice abilities such as Clairaudience and Clairvoyance to receive information from spirit. It is important to note that not all mediums are psychics, and not all psychics are mediums. Mediums who do not practice psychic abilities may practice abilities such as channeling, physical mediumship, or mental mediumship. Self-proclaimed mediums such as Derek Cora, Teresa Caputo, and Sally Morgan are well recognised celebrity practitioners in this field. However, it is important to note that their credibility has come into question, and skeptics have attempted to, and sometimes successfully, debunk their work. While some believe that the existence of mediums cannot be proven, and that it's all just a load of rubbish, I personally would like to believe that everyone has the ability to develop themselves spiritually and work on themselves to be able to communicate with spirit and their loved ones. That anyone can develop their spiritual skills through meditation, practice, and dedication. This ability focuses on feelings and emotions, as those who are believed to have this ability are said to be able to intuitively pick up on the emotions of others. If you believe that anyone can develop themselves spiritually and explore the spiritual world, then this skill can be picked up through practice, meditation, and dedication. It just takes time. There are believed to be different signs to suggest whether someone is clairsentient. These include having gut feelings about certain situations and people, both positive and negative, being able to sense information about spirits. This could be the feeling of being watched, sensing the presence of spirits of loved ones via their energy, and feeling an uncomfortable sensation when entering an active building. By active, I mean a building you would class as haunted. Your mood changes when entering a room. If you are sensitive to energies, you may feel this when entering a new or different environment. You may feel positive and joyful energy in one room, whilst entering another may feel uncomfortable, or you might feel a little bit low in mood. Your mood may even change suddenly and unexpectedly for no reason. This could be because you're picking up on the energy around you. When entering a new room, you may be able to sense changes in temperature much easier than others. This can include being sensitive to hot and cold spots, or a breeze or wind when all the windows and doors are closed. Not only is it believed that those who are sensitive are able to notice temperature differences, but they can feel and pick up on the past of a location. Some have said that they can feel the events that took place within the house, whether they were positive or negative. The hairs on your neck stand up. Clairsentience is more than just sensing emotions and the energies of spirit. There are believed to be physical symptoms associated with this ability. Some have stated that they have felt their hair stand up on end, whilst others have felt pressure in their head or their stomach. Similar to one of the signs of clairsentience, retrocognition is the ability to pick up past information on a person, a location or an event using non-physical senses. If we consider that everything is made up of energy, and energy cannot be destroyed, that it continues to exist, following this line of thought, it is believed that some are able to tune into these frequencies and gain access to information and experience it. Those who state that they can perform this ability say that they access this information in an altered state. These states can include meditation, dreams, and even astral projection. Did you know you might have experienced a small form of retrocognition in your lifetime? That's right, deja vu. That feeling of familiarity and that strong gut feeling and sense that you've experienced a situation before. It is considered to be retrocognition. Have you ever smelled a scent that has come out of nowhere, like cigarette smoke or perfume? Clairaudience or clear smelling is the ability to perceive and pick up on smells that are believed to originate from spirit. These smells may carry a meaning with it, as it may be a smell associated with a loved one, such as the smell of baking or tobacco. These experiences could be interpreted as signs that spirit and your loved ones are watching over you. Have you experienced clairaudience or clear smelling? Let me know down in the comments below about your experience. This is one of the most unusual forms of ESP, the ability to taste substances associated with a person or location from the past, present, or even future. Those with this gift describe the experience as tasting non-physical substances in their mouth, which are from the non-physical world, the same way as if we taste physical items and substances. Some mediums may rely on this ability when providing messages or communicating with a departed loved one. For example, validating a loved one's favourite food by tasting freshly baked chocolate chip biscuits or a glass of red wine. The existence of ESP has been studied and explored as we have previously discussed. However, it is hard to pinpoint. Science suggests that ESP does exist, but it can be explained by brain activity and hormones. Scientists at Harvard studied ESP using neuroimagery and concluded that there is no proof that this phenomenon exists. Using brain scanning to test whether participants of the study had knowledge of information that could not be explained through a normal perception process. Research leader Samuel Moulton said, "If any ESP processes exist, then participants' brains should respond differently to ESP and non-ESP stimuli." Instead, results showed that participants' brains responded identically to ESP and non-ESP stimuli, despite reacting strongly to differences in how emotional the stimuli were and showing subtle stimulus-related effects. Through a variety of studies following this, the scientists suggested that ESP can be further explained by the brain preempting and predicting stimuli. One study regarding telepathy involved showing photographs to a participant's relative, loved one or twin who was sat in another room. However, Moulton concluded that the null results does not prove that ESP does not exist, and it is difficult to monitor the phenomenon to come to a firm conclusion either way. On the other hand, more and more people are believing in mediums and spiritual abilities, as according to a Gallup survey, 3 in 4 Americans believe in the paranormal, with 41% saying that they believe in ESP. It is worth asking why so many people are saying that they have experienced ESP, or have a belief in mediumship and clairvoyance, if the phenomenon has been argued to not exist. I personally have witnessed and experienced phenomenon that I just cannot explain. From seeing spirits to smelling scents that have come out of nowhere, such as perfume or cigarette smoke. I understand that not everyone will believe in this topic or phenomenon, but I still think that it needs to be considered, debated, explored and studied further. After all, there is so much of this world that is yet to be understood and pieced together. What are your thoughts on ESP? Have you had an experience that you cannot explain? Or maybe you don't believe in the phenomenon? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, time for the fun fact. Nikola Tesla believed that there was a source of energy in the universe that we could all tap into and use, and he himself recognised the importance of spirituality. Tesla himself spoke about being able to astral project with ease, which some believe has stemmed from a near-death experience he had when he was young, where he banged his head under a dock while swimming, and then had an out-of-body experience. Here is an eye-opening and important quote by Nikola Tesla that I would love to share with you all. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. If you'd like to support the channel, please subscribe to Dare to Fly today and get ready to take flight. Remember to turn on notifications so you get notified every time I upload a video, and share this video with others. You can follow Dare to Fly on social media. I'm most active on Twitter and Periscope at DareToFly777. And as always, fly high, fear less.